What is the incineration? Oops. Mahesh, you should have informed earlier, no? Okay, thanks. I have covered that story without discussion with you, but I may explain you later on. Okay. So I'm now talking about how is the biomedical waste management is being done. As the biomedical waste is having characteristics of infectious, then hazardous, then radioactive type of material, we need to take very proper care in respect of disposal of the biomedical waste. So what are these methods that we are going to discuss over here? So in that, the first one is the incineration. Okay. Second one is the chemical disinfection, then wet thermal treatment, then microwave irradiation, land disposal, and inertialization. Okay. So these are the different methods available for the disposal of biomedical waste. Now, though we are going to study in detail at the time of treatment chapter included for the disposal of solid waste, treatment for the solid waste. Okay, still in short, I will explain you what is mean by what are these methods and why we should use it for the biomedical waste disposal. So the first one is the incineration. What is mean by incineration? You something you have studied in a semester one, yeah, in a wastewater engineering. Incineration is a treatment where in a closed conduit, entire waste will be burned at a very high temperature. Very high temperature in the sense it is being used as per the requirements. It can be raised up to the 1800 degrees Celsius temperature. Is it? So, but for biomedical waste, up to 100 200 degrees Celsius temperature is sufficient. It depends upon what type of exact biomedical waste you are using for the incineration. Incineration is a simply closed conduit burning at high temperature. It will be converting that particular waste into ash. Simply, it will be converting. It is burning, completely burning and converting into ash. Okay. So why should prefer this method? Because many of the bacteria, viruses, are microbes are being grown on the biomedical waste, and if you don't dispose it properly, it will start spreading from this place to somewhere else, and other people will start getting affected because of this material. So that's why we need to dispose it there itself. So KEM hospital in Mumbai, you may be knowing about that. KM hospital, there is a separate incinerator for that separate hospital is provided. So there is no transportation of, KM hospital is having a lot of facility where any kind of treatment is available. For any kind of disease, the treatment is available in a KM hospital. So that's why there is a provision made to dispose the waste at that site itself. Because if you are providing the transportation method to dispose it and somewhere else you are going to dispose, during that process, it will start spreading into the atmosphere and the society. So that's why they have provided their own incinerator and they are burning their entire waste at that place itself. Okay, then chemical disinfection is one of the method for the disposal of one of the treatment to the biomedical waste. So what is this chemical disinfection? In the chemical disinfection, chemicals you can apply, like the chlorine we are using. Okay, chemicals we can apply to kill the bacteria. Once it is getting disinfected, then it can be packed and wrapped and then can be transported towards the disposal site. Okay, so this is the chemical disinfection method. Then wet thermal method. steam sterilization. Sterilization, you may be knowing, autoclave is there, and then whatever the used materials, basically for the syringe, earlier one syringe where reusable syringes were there. Nowadays there is a one-time use and then disposal type of syringes are there. Someone has asked the question. No, that is over. Is there any problem? Who is talking? Okay. So sterilization at high temperature in a closed conduit, there will be vapors, means thermal vapors will be provided, and it will kill entire bacteria. Only the vapors, the water will not be available, but vapors will be allowed to pass into the container. In that, there will be a killing of bacteria. That is known as the wet thermal treatment or the steam sterilization. Okay, steam is being converted after boiling the water. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, so the steam is that much hot, and at that hot temperature, no bacteria, no microbes will survive. It will be clean, and then either you can reuse it. If this method is basically used for the reusable type of materials. Okay, then the microwave irradiation and land disposal. Before microwave irradiation, I will explain land disposal. Land disposal is like the sanitary landfilling. Okay, take a pit, provide the plastic liner from the bottom side, then dispose the material into that particular pit, and then cover that pit with the soil, and then close up to the surface level. So keep on closing for a longer period. That is nothing but the land disposal. Okay. Then the next one is the inertialization. Okay. Sometimes we can call it is a inerting. This is an explosion protection process. In that uses the inert gas to prevent the formation of an explosive mixture. So especially sometimes if there is a explosive type of mixture is available in a biomedical waste, at that time only this inertialization method is being used. It is used to prevent the vapors from escaping into the atmosphere. Sometimes some of the chemical boiling or like this is being performed in the medical area. So at that time, it can be used to control the emission of or escaping the vapors into the atmosphere, because suppose these vapors emit into the atmosphere, it will mix into the air, and then it will start penetrating into the entire area, and it may create the starts the chemical reactions. So that's why such type of treatment is used for the very specific type of biomedical waste. General biomedical waste is not going to be used this type of. Generally, what type of methods being used? First three, that is incineration, chemical disinfection, and the next one is the sterilization method. Now the microwave irradiation. This is the microwave. You know what purpose we are using the microwave? Is it? It is the for heating purpose. It is. The microwave irradiation is a form of electromagnetic irradiation. Is it? With the electric charges, we can use the electric charges to pass the radiations, electromagnetic radiations, and especially it is used for the organic synthesis purpose. So if some microbiological laboratory is there under the biomedical waste, microbiological laboratories are also coming. So at that time, there are some microbiological experiments are being performed. Is it? So in at that time, for uh, sometimes there are the emission of radiations from that activity, or emission of such what we can say, that synthesis process, organic synthesis processes are going on, and for the control of that type of waste into the surrounding area, the microbial irradiation can be used. Simply it is electromagnetic radiation passing. Okay, so specific activity can be performed into that particular container, and whatever the vapors are emitting, electromagnetic radiations will pass, and then the neutralization of charge on this particle will be performed under the microwave irradiation treatment process. Are you getting? This is the microwave irradiation. So these are the different methods which can be used for the treatment of the biomedical waste, or for the management of the biomedical waste. So I request you all to write down these methods, and then I will explain the further part. Okay, have you finished? Okay. The biomedical waste management is of great significance because of biomedical waste can adversely affect the health, inviting serious implications to people who get in touch with it. Segregation, storage, and safe disposal of waste is the key to effective management of biomedical waste in a workplace, that we have discussed in detail. Is it? So instead of transporting and sending it to the disposal site, better if you provide the proper treatment at the source itself. You need to do the segregation in the sense disposable, non-disposable, hazardous waste, in infectious waste. That way we should segregate it at the uh, source. Then we need to store it properly, and then we can go for the safe disposal as per the characteristics. Okay, So that's why biomedical waste management is of great significance because biomedical waste can adversely affect health, inviting serious implications to the people who get in touch with it. Segregation, storage, and safe disposal of the waste is the key to effective management of biomedical waste in a workplace. Okay. Then human immunodeficiency virus. Is it? What are the hazards of biomedical waste? Biomedical waste is also having a characteristic of hazardous waste. We can say it is a hazardous waste. Why we can say it is a hazardous waste? That explanation is given here. Okay. So HIV and hepatitis virus spread an extensive list of infectious and disease documented to have spread through biomedical waste. These are the special type of disease which spreads through the biomedical waste. And both the diseases are very dangerous. One is the HIV and another one is the hepatitis viruses. Then tuberculosis, pneumonia, diarrhea, tetanus, whooping cough, etc. are other common diseases spread due to improper waste management. But especially these two above waste are very dangerous in respect of considering the characteristic of biomedical waste. Hence, we can say biomedical waste is having hazardous waste characteristic also, along with the infectious one, along with the radioactive one, it is also hazardous one. Is it? Because many of the diseases are spreading through the biomedical waste, like the HIV. You know that when it was new one, you may be childhood. That time that disease has come into picture, and at that time it was evolved. Earlier there was the injections, like the syringe was a glass syringe, and the needle was still and the injections are being given with the help of that. But if one syringe is being used to other one, the disease will keep on spreading from this syringe. And mainly that disease is HIV disease. Is it? So that was the dangerous. So that's why the new era had come, and there was the evolution in the use of that syringes. Instead of using that reusable sterilization, we used to perform the sterilization to the injections syringes, and then it can be used for other patient. But if it is not being done properly, there is a high possibility to transfer the disease from one person to another person. So that's why nowadays the disposable type of syringes are being used. Means if you want to take the injection, you should bring your own syringe, and then you can take the injection. So there is no chance to transfer the disease. So especially that HIV disease was came into picture, and this change came into picture, the use of syringe. Okay. Then we will discuss the new that how do you segregate the biomedical waste? Segregation of biomedical waste at the source is very important. Okay. Biomedical waste should be segregated in colored coded paddle operated covered bins. Very rightly it is mentioned, you can see. Biomedical waste should be segregated in colored coded paddle operated covered bins. Common type of bins which we are using, that we need to touch by hand, and then we can dump our solid waste into that bin. But that cover is also getting infected. That bacteria may be available on that surface of that cover. So if you are touching to that cover of that bin, there is a possibility to transfer the disease. Okay, so that's why whenever there is a disposal of solid waste or collection of biomedical waste is there, in that case, it should be used colored coded paddle operated covered bins. It should be covered one, it should be paddle operated, and the remaining part is the color coded. So we will talk in detail about the color coded. Okay, so let me finish these two slides, and at the last of this chapter, I will explain what is the color codes for the disposal of collection of solid waste. Okay. Then proper training should be given to the paramedical staff and waste handlers about the waste and how to match with colors. कुठला वेस्ट कुठल्या कलर बिन मध्ये टाकायचं याचं ट्रेनिंग तर दिलंच पाहिजे. At the same time, they should use the hand gloves, they should use the mask, they should not touch to the biomedical waste directly, and the bin should be, collection bin should be always a little away from the public place. It should not be in a common place where the public are surviving. So all these trainings must be given to the paramedical staff for the proper handling. Then practice should be made to segregate the biomedical waste at the point of generation. आता एका डब्यात जर सगळं बायोमेडिकल वेस्ट गोळा केलं आणि परत ते सेग्रिगेट करायला लावलं तर हाऊ हेक्टिक टिडियस जॉब इज दॅट यू कॅन इमॅजिन. इरिटेटिंग जॉब, इज इट? One cannot go for that. So instead of that, whatever the solid waste generating from an individual, it should be disposed into color coded bins, and then it can be possible to decide the treatment. If it is the infectious one, there should be incineration immediately. If it is the hazardous one, then there should be land covering type of material, landscaping, or sanitary landfilling type of treatment should be used, is it? Then if it is the radioactive type of material is being used, then irradiation type of method should be used for the treatment, or the microwave irradiation process can be used for the treatment of the that type of medical waste. Are you getting? So these are we need to create a practice to segregate the biomedical waste at the point of generation. Then only it will be possible to separate it out properly. Okay, so we will discuss now what are the different colors coded color codes can be used for the collection or segregation of solid waste. Okay, so if it is the blue color, it is indicating paper recycling material. If it is the green color, it can be used for the organic recycling. Red color for landfill waste, then yellow color mixed recycling, white color for soft plastic recycling. For the specific type of waste, specific color code can be used for the collection and segregation of solid waste. Is it? Give me a few seconds. Actually, there are different color codings for the biomedical waste collection. I think I have not added in a slide. I will try to search somewhere and then I will add. Yeah, I got it in somewhere else in my slide. I will add that. So you can see this figure in properly. So you can understand what type of waste you need to dispose in what type of colored bins. You can see different types, non-infected type of waste, and this is the infected type of waste. Segregation of biomedical waste we are learning. Okay, non-infected type of waste, which is that I told you, cytotoxic drugs and the chemical waste. It is expired medicals or not used medical, remaining medicals are there. So that can be considered under the cytotoxic drugs and chemical waste. So that waste can be kept into the, collected into the collection part we are discussing, segregation and collection. In detail, that functional outline we are going to study in a second chapter. But still that in respect of biomedical waste, we will discuss here. So if it is the cytotoxic drugs and the chemical waste, you can collect it into the black color plastic container. All the containers should be a plastic one. Is it? So metals are not allowed here because there is a possibility to have the reactions. Is it? So it can be collected into the black color plastic container. Then under the infected waste, again it is added as a soil waste, then anatomical waste, then infected plastic and the shafts. Okay, if it is the solid waste, it can be soil it can be collected into the red color plastic container. Soiled waste in the sense वापरलेलं असतं इंजुरीसाठी जे मटेरियल वापरलेलं असतं that can be considered as a soil waste. Okay, so that can be collected into the red color plastic container. Okay, then anatomical waste. Anatomical waste, what is mean by anatomical waste? Especially generating from the laboratories, the testing laboratories. Okay, in that body parts, some tissues, scalps are being collected, is it, for testing purpose. So that type of waste, or sometimes operations, and during the operation, the organs are being removed from the human body. That also comes under the anatomical waste, and that anatomical type of waste can be collected into the yellow color plastic container. Okay, then infected plastics, syringes, gloves, plastic waste, that will become that needs to be collected and into the blue color plastic container. Are you getting? If it is the infected one, we need to collect into the blue color plastic container. And the shafts, like the needles or the cutted glasses or the syringes, scissors are there. These are the sharpened one. And if you want to dispose that type of waste, it can be collected into the white color plastic container. Then entire waste can be provided a different types of treatments. Okay, so what are the different types of treatments? For the non-infected waste, that is drugs and the chemical waste, we can go for the secured landfilling or the sanitary landfilling. About landfilling, you may be knowing. If you are not knowing, I'm going to explain at the time of various treatment methodologies. Okay, initial part or the somehow something part you are knowing at the time of wastewater supply engineering solid waste management chapter. Okay, then for soil waste, you can provide the deep, means you can bury that type of material into the deep earth. Excavation of earth is need to be done, and then you can cover that material with the soil. Okay, then anatomical waste, also same treatment you need to go for. Then syringes, gloves, plastic, such type of material can be recycled for as a raw material for the same industry, for the reproduction of the same material. Then the shafts, it can be need to be make separate arrangement. If it is the recyclable one, you can go for the recyclable one, or then yeah, you can use it as a reuse of that material for the same industry by melting it, and then you can use it. Okay, so these are the treatments you need to provide to the biomedical waste as per their source, as per their characteristics. Okay, do you understood? So you can keep on watching this. I will note down your attendance because I have meeting at 2:45. So I will try to fetch the meeting till that. Excellent. Okay. So because of meeting, I may leave little early, 5-10 minutes, but still, I request you all to keep on watching. We'll start second. Here, our first chapter is getting end up. So still, we will start just start the new chapter, and then we will close. Till that, we will continue. टायमिंग संपत आलं हो पहिल्या मीटिंगचं. 2 स्लॉट झाले ना 40-40 मिनिटाचे. परत एंड झाले की परत पोरं जॉईन होतो. यायला लागला समाधान. या सरांना घेऊन या म्हणतात मला. तिथे गेले या तिथे विचारते सरांना. No need to write your roll numbers. I have taken the screenshots. Last 3 minutes are remained there. You watch for few seconds and then I will open for the मीटिंगला गेले का म्हणजे जायला सांगायचं होतं. कुठे गेले बॉस म्हटलं तर नंतर ते माझे बॉस आहेत, मी त्यांचा बॉस नाही. आता त्यांच्या सरांच्या आधी गेले होते. त्यांच्या अगोदर काय गेले का? ते पुढे गेले ना त्यांच्या अगोदर गेले. कुठला तरी सांग. जाऊदेत मी पण जाते. 2:30 म्हणतात मीटिंग ना. हॅलो सर. सर मीटिंगला गेलात का? ते काहीतरी 2:30 लाच चालू झाली मीटिंग. माझं लेक्चर होतं, एक 5 मिनिटात येत होते, म्हटलं तुम्हाला सांगावं. बरं ठीक आहे. हा होत आलंय माझं. चहा पहिले घेऊन गेलेत त्यांना. आम्हाला इथे चहा नाही, पाणी नाही.